Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season 2 of the Loves Gymnastics podcast, brought to you by the Loves Gymnastics Network, brought to you by the creator of this, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, and her co-host, Oscar, aka Gymnastics Saves Lives, Miss Shayna, and Ezra. And together, we bring you the Loves Gymnastics podcast. Season 2 begins now. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We love and appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring more people into the community. It's NCAA 2025 time. Let's go, girls! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Welcome back to my channel, Michaela Loves Gymnastics. And welcome, everybody, to our recap show of week 4 of NCAA. I am Michaela Loves Gymnastics. And shortly, some of my co-hosts will be getting on, and we will be talking about what happened this week in the NCAA gymnastics. About an hour ago, I gave you guys a mini show of how I feel about the Olivia Dunn situation. I'm pretty sure Oscar and Shayna, Ezra, whoever's ready to get on wants to talk about that as well. I'm going to be very honest. I have not watched a lot of the NCAA this weekend, so I am a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Misinformed. I am a little bit uneducated on what happened. But I did watch 2 meets. So while they're gathering their thoughts, let me talk about the 2 meets that I did see. I think it was Florida and Georgia. I think that's the meet I watched this week. But I feel like I'm wrong. But I don't think so. So I watched the Florida-Georgia meet, and the thing that was just hard as a Georgia gymnastics fan. Georgia is my team. Georgia is my heart in the NCAA. Georgia, my bad. I'm so sorry, Georgia. I'm lying. I mean Florida. Why did I just say damn Georgia? I mean Florida. I'm from Florida. Florida is my team. Go Gators, right? But the scores, it just was. It was hard to it was just extremely hard to. I'm not gonna say it was hard to watch because that would be fucking lying. It was hard to accept. It was hard to understand what was going on. Like, it just vehemently seemed like They just was giving Florida scores, and it just did not matter what Florida did.
Hello.
Florida was just getting. Hey Shayna, what's
Hi.
tea, sis?
Hi, sis.
Um,
What I missed.
so we didn't miss very much. I just was starting off talking about Florida and like they're
Oh my
overscoring.
God. It seemed like it's gonna be always a top team. Next week it's probably gonna be LSU.
It just, but I mean, it just was real bad at this competition. Like, I mean, it was. I mean, and I would say this was one of Florida's better competitions of the year. They did not need to be
They don't need
overscored
no help.
easily. It just
That was probably about a 197.5 meet.
probably 197 between 197.3 and 197.5. I think that would have been an acceptable, but a 198 for not a one stuck vault. That vault, and just as a Florida fan, their vaulting scores are just that. Ooh,
And
I just don't.
and
I don't even see none of their vault scoring 9-9.
and
I
not
just
and not to shade none of those gymnasts on that team because they're not judging themselves. But then it's like
no.
then I'm not a big proponent of Georgia, and then I look at people like what's the one that transferred from Arizona State? Anna, what's her name?
I don't know about none of
Her
these
with her
people.
1.5, and then new freshmen. They vaults were better than any of the Florida vaults, and did not score near as them. So it'd be making it seem like y'all have biased judging.
And then watching it, I was biased because I'm a Florida fan, but then watching it, rewatching it on Addicts stream, because Addicts was streaming the Florida meet and the MSU meet at the same time. So you can literally compare MSU vaults to Florida vaults. They're always doing 10 point. Well, I think Florida had less 10.0 vaults than. No, I think Florida did all 10.0 vaults. But MSU was scoring like on great year cheaper 1.5. 975, 9775.
I guess the judges were doing what they were supposed to do, and that's a big thing, like, with the scoring and people with their opinions. It's not going to be perfect, especially in its first season, but to a trained eye, did you watch the podcast with the three coaches with the twins?
Not yet. I'm gonna do
You
it
have
tonight.
just
This is
get into it.
because tonight I work overnight, so I'm saving all of that to keep me up at
Get
night
into
tonight.
it, sis, because they talk. No, it don't matter if you agree or disagree with them. The fact is, they are the chair committee, those three, and they appointed, a person and how it's supposed to work. It's not going to work in the first. It's been in the works for like the last 2 to 3 years, but it's not going to work the first time because they still have to evaluate things, what's working, what's not working, trends. But do you know prior to this season that how the judges were evaluated to make postseason assignments was based off of the coaches?
That seems to be right.
So if you was in a conference when they always say the SEC seemed like they had the biggest, the higher scores throughout the year. So those people didn't want to get mad and give Florida a 9.8, which is a decent score compared to an impossible 9.9. They weren't getting assigned championship meets. That's how it's been. So that's why the egregious scoring is what it was. So then now it's like you got Olivia Dunn, she putting her 10 cents in. Then you got all the other people who are just fans running their mouth in comments and all that, girl. It's not going to be perfect. It never has been. But they got to do a little bit better than what they're doing.
And with Olivia, I'm willing to say because because my solo video I'm not posting it on Twitter because I realized I was cussing bitches out, which I feel like I was rightfully so doing. But if you want to see that video, it's always going to be on my YouTube channel.
When
I'm
did
never
when
taking it
when did
down.
this happen?
What?
The video you talking about recently?
The one I did just before the show. You
Oh,
was
I
there.
came for 2 seconds, girl, because I started my new job today,
Oh,
so I popped in and then I was out of there.
so basically, I was saying that I feel like a lot of the internet is being hypocritical when it came to this Olivia Dunn situation and her opinion, because wasn't y'all just the same people who was telling people they don't need to bully fans when the young Alabama fan was trying to get in the head of the OU
Mm-hmm.
Vultures, and then somebody the OU or Bama team went up to the young man and reprimanded him and told him to stop or something like that, right? So why was that
Hey,
wrong?
Nisha.
But hey Nisha, but why was that wrong? But then y'all, because Olivia had an opinion on the scoring situation, take her tweets and want to read her for Phil or
They
talk about
wore
how
her to
bad of a gymnast.
shreds.
Why is that right? But what the young man did I think what the young man did was more right because he was a fan. He paid his money. He was supporting his team. And what I dislike about the sport, if we're going to talk about how to grow the sport, is if you go to any other sporting event, right? The home team, their fans buy tickets to ridicule the other
Mm-hmm.
team. That's the point of home team
Mm-hmm.
advantage. Is the fans are supposed to be on your side
Mm-hmm.
solely. They're not supposed to cheer for the other team. Actually, they are supposed to be kind of, I'm not gonna say rude, but do things that negatively impact the other team in any other sport.
Yeah.
Tennis, football, basketball, soccer, track and field.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of being a fan, right? So then for the gymnastics fans, I mean, so sorry, for the people in gymnastics, the Olivia Dunns and Jay Clark and Greg Morrisons and stuff, to want to sit up here and write all these think pieces of how to grow the sport, that's how you grow the sport. You can't sit up there and say you want people put asses in these seats, but then when the people do put asses in these seats, and it's a team now, and then they want to cheer for their team and make it hot for the other team, then I want to be like, hold up, fans, that's not how we do it in gym. Nah, bitch, make a choice. Is this a sporting event? Or is this a pageant that everybody's supposed to cheer for
A
everybody?
sport,
Because
like
you can't have it.
I was telling one of the fans, because when something just sounds so stupid to me, Michaela, I have to respond in the group text. I mean, in those group Facebook group messages. And one of the ladies they were just talking about Olivia, and I wasn't defending Olivia, but they was like, you need to be worried about getting those ring leagues together, and this is their student athletes, and they worried about entertainment value. I said, well, sports is entertainment. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's on an elite level, on a college level, t-ball. It is entertainment. And when you take that part out of look at our instance in our life. Like I have been going to gymnastics meets for years, and I have tried to incorporate my brothers and sisters come, and they totally just don't care for it. So you can dumb it down to try to get people in the seats, but I just feel like it's like acquired taste. You either gonna like it or not.
It is oh, that's a very very good. Gymnastics is a very acquired taste. It's never going to be McDonald's that everybody want to sit up there and consume that shit. That's
Hmm.
football. That's basketball. Gymnastics is more of an era
Hell no. I
of
can't stand those ball sports.
But that's the popular of where how the world is. They love football, baseball.
Yeah, that's different. I just want it to be clear. Not everyone likes those sports.
Yeah, because
Quote unquote
I like
sports.
Michaela. I did.
We never said that everybody likes those sports. What we're saying is those sports are popular and more easily digestible, and gymnastics is more of an acquired
Mm-hmm.
taste, and it's for more.
I understand the sentiment, but the wording suggested everyone likes it. Or that's how I understood what you said.
Most people can enjoy football because football has been so watered down and dumbed down to the point where
Football is an
I
American
don't like.
sport.
Sign.
But I could sit up there and watch.
Mhm.
I could sit up there and have my TV on and not be bored and not understand what's going on because they have football so entertaining that, you know,
Mhm.
I can sit up there and watch the Beyonce concert in the middle of the football game and be perfectly fine.
Right. Mm.
Whereas gymnastics, it's never going to be like that.
Mm-mm.
It's just not. It's never going to have that many viewers. It's never. And when it does, it's going to be the Olivia Dunn effect. People, the men are just going to watch the girls in the skimpy outfits, and sometimes that's what it is. Like, and you can't have it both ways. Like, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about Olivia, even though I disagree with her sentiment.
Me too.
She
I
understands.
didn't agree because I think she meant well. It just didn't come across that way.
Correct, but she's right. You have to make it. I don't agree with how she thinks gymnastics is entertaining, but I do agree that there has to be a culture shift from this little child broadcast shit that they do to a more adult,
But what
mature.
if you disagree with the way that sports are the like general idea of how sports should be, what the goal should be? I don't want gymnastics to be like those other stupid faux sports. I want the athletes to be paid and happy and healthy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's literally what we just said, Oscar.
It didn't sound like that. It sounded like you wanted the sports to be as
No,
popular as possible or something. Everyone could watch it.
we literally just said gymnastics is an acquired taste and it's never going to be like the ball sports, and they need to stop trying to be like the ball
Mm-hmm.
sports.
Okay. I did not. I must have misunderstood. I was totally listening.
That's what I was saying about the McDonald's and stuff. Like, that's football. That's basketball. You have a McDonald's on every
Mm-hmm.
corner. Those are no sports. Gymnastics is never going to be that. Gymnastics is going to be for your higher end taste, for your more acquired taste, for people who have the financial resources to spend on gymnastics. Like, it's not going to be for everybody. You're not going to have every single school across the country who's able to fill up a 10,000 seat arena. It's never going to happen. And the schools that it does happen to, half the people who come, they don't care for gymnastics. They're there because their school are
Mm-hmm.
winning and they're winning school. They don't give a damn about a Pat Soto or a Van Leeuwen or a toe full or hitting a handstand or the correct split positions. And I feel like the issue is that too often the higher ups in the sport, the people who are actually, I'm not going to say in control, but who are in the sport, the Jay Clarks, the Olivia Dunns, the Greg Morrisons. I'm going to keep using those three names because those three people, Owen Fields, that's a fourth name. Those four people constantly are making posts, making tweets, talking about how to grow the sport. And I'm just trying to convince all of these people that the way that you all are trying to grow the sport is actually hampering the sport.
Because
If you want gymnastics to be football, then you're gonna have to accept the football like behavior of fans.
but I think they want that, don't
You
they?
can't. they do want that, but then you can't sit around and kick somebody out of an arena for what is it called? It's not bullying,
Heckling?
harassing. There we go. Thank you, Oscar. Oh my God, I've been looking for this
Wait, I
word
didn't know
for
we were
like
talking
2 days.
about the. Are we talking about the heckler for Audrey Davis at OU?
We're talking about it all, yes.
I lived for that.
What we're talking about is, I'm sorry, you must have, yeah, you must have really, this is why you, what we're talking about is if the people want a whole bunch of audience to come to these gymnastics events, right? Then they're going to have to accept the fact that people are going to boo the opposing team, especially if they're in a home meet. They're going to have to accept the fact that they can't control what other people say and do. They're going to have to accept the fact that people are going to be loud. People are going to try to distract the gymnasts. That's a part of fandom, especially if they're thinking they're doing this in support of their team, in support of their favorite athlete, in support of this. These are all things that they can't have. But if you don't want that, which is fine, I don't think gymnastics should be that. I think each and every school should build smaller arenas that can hold between 500 and 1,000 people. I don't feel like I don't I feel like there should be a YouTube channel that all the schools have ownership in. And each school streams their meets on these YouTube channels at their appropriate time from Monday through Saturday through Friday through Monday. From Sunday, I mean, I'm so sorry, from Friday to Monday. And you get to watch everything. And everybody from all over the world will be the Chinese people can watch it. The Asian people, or I mean, Chinese people are Asian, but the Asian communities can watch it. The Brazilians can
Asia
watch it.
is like
The
is
European,
a yeah, okay. We're doing continents. I just wanted to make sure we weren't treating it like a
yes,
country.
no, the Australian people can watch it, and everybody. Then you would get your viewerships that y'all want. But for you all to expect people to fly from China to come watch y'all at LSU, that's just nonsensical.
Wait, do you think it's sexism why you are thinking that people don't want the heckling at the women's gymnastics? How is heckling treated, or how do people feel about heckling in other women's sports like basketball?
They do it in tennis too. They used to do it to Serena all the time.
Yeah, they definitely do it in tennis. But yeah, do you understand?
I understand. I just don't have any kind of. I have no clue.
And then
I have
and then
no clue.
similarly, like is I've never really
So
experienced heckling in gymnastics, even with the men's
it
side.
must be okay. It must be okay because I remember the people always heckling Caitlin Clark and Reese.
I remember them
Them
heckling
the only
Angel
two.
Reese more than Caitlin Clark.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, it must be okay, or must. I'm not gonna say okay. It must be a part
The culture.
of it, right? Correct. And for them to reprimand that man at them that Alabama meet, I think that's what's wrong with the damn sport.
Did they
Like
actually kick him
you
out?
can't. I don't know if they kicked him out, but they definitely reprimanded him
Yeah.
on national
Is
TV.
the other is the male coach is who did it? Is he KJ's? Are they in a relationship or are they just co-coaches?
One of them is her husband.
That's her husband.
The shorter one, Lou Ball. That's her husband.
I don't know which one. I think it was Tom was his name, the one who talked to the fan.
Mm. If they want, were they on bars?
I think it. I don't know. I don't know.
What event they were on? Cause see, I stopped watching it, so I didn't see it.
But I sent you
I
the
think they
clip,
were on.
and you couldn't tell which event it was in the clip.
But how do you expect people to pay their money to support their team, and then for y'all to let the opposing team to come tell me to stop heckling their athletes? Like, fuck that. I would have left and asked for my money back.
I feel like I'm missing something. Why do you feel like LSU expects fans in China to fly to LSU to see the sport because they don't have another option?
There's not that many gymnastics fans in America who will fill out those arenas the way that they want to. So then the logical, it would be the international fans will have to fly to America to fill up these arenas. And ain't nobody finna fly from fucking Brazil to see no fucking Minnesota at damn
Would you
Michigan.
agree with
Like,
that,
it's just,
Shayna, as an LSU stan? That they
I'm
can't fill up the stadiums?
LSU filling up the stadiums.
I thought you said that before. So I guess LSU is the exception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess you gotta have a good product too, because LSU fills up all their sports basically are filled up. Baseball, basketball on both sides, and men's basketball sucks. Um,
do they fill the stadiums up with gymnastics
yeah,
fans or just
No,
people
Michaela,
who
I'm
are there?
telling you, they pay their fans, remember? They pay
LSU,
the
Listen to the question.
LSU
Listen to the question,
has been
people.
number one in
Do they
like
fill them
the last
up
couple.
with gymnastics fans or do they fill them up with LSU fans who will support anything as long as they're supporting LSU?
Obviously the latter.
That's the issue. That's the issue. There is no loyalty to
Mhm.
gymnastics. There's loyalty to the schools. That can only go so far.
And why is that an issue? Why do we need more loyalty in gymnastics?
Because if they want to fill up the arenas for every school, then you're going to have to figure out how. And then the issue is there's just not enough gymnastics fans in America to fill up these arenas to each and every one of these
I'm
college
trying to
institutions.
go and look at um, Cal's meet yesterday and see how many people was there. They are the runner ups at nationals last year, and they look like they maybe had 2,000 people in the audience.
Which is a lot or a little?
That's a little.
But it's not
It's
a
not a
little, it's
little.
a little. And this is what I'm saying, going back.
LSU
What I'm
LSU
saying is
season tickets were 8,000 fans, just their season ticket. Cal, UCLA didn't even have like a full stadium of people.
they are trying to push too big of a product. They are trying to make gymnastics basketball, and it's just never going to happen for every school. Yes, I know there are some exceptions like LSU and maybe Florida
Mhm.
sometimes, but again, it's not that those people care about gymnastics, they care about
hmm
LSU. So they're going to watch the gymnastics because it's at LSU. What I'm saying is there's just not enough gymnastics fans in America to support each and every one of these teams the way the NCAA gymnasts, coaches, so on, so forth, would
I
want it to
forgot about.
be, unless you centralize it and make everybody compete in one arena in one city somewhere every weekend, which that's not what y'all want.
Do you think there are enough gymnastics fans, period, in the United States to fill up all of these stadiums? If everyone had their own stadium like they do now?
No, that's my point. I keep so sorry, Oscar. I just feel like I keep saying this. I just literally just said this. No, no, no.
It
That's
sounded like you
no.
were
I
saying
do
maybe like based off of who is showing up, like the turnout. But I was asking like even counting the people at home who don't pay for to go to gymnastics meets.
no. I don't. I feel like the only way for what they want to happen is then for them to tap into the international gymnastics market. And I'm just saying, ain't nobody trying to fly to from fucking China to fucking LSU to watch. Again, LSU is a bad example because they get their who's a team to California to watch them compete against them Ball State. Like what the NCAA need to realize is they need to build these teams actual gymnastics event centers or whatever, and these seats do not need to hold 10,000 people, maybe between 500 and 1,000 people, and then you try to get your eyes on the schools through the internet, through because again, even with TV, the advertisers and all this other stuff, it's never gonna happen for gymnastics like that if it's not the Olympics. You all need to focus on your internet viewership. That's where the people watch gymnastics at, on the internet. You need to get a platform and really invest in that shit.
Or alternatively, divest from ball sports.
It's never gonna happen.
I'm just putting it out into the universe for our viewers.
It's just like you can't expect people to put their asses in the seats, and then when they do, y'all want to ridicule the way they are gymnastics fans, i.e., Oscar, and from going to USA Gymnastics events. That was stupid. All he wanted was a fucking autograph.
And I was giving them my money. That was not cheap.
I.e., addicts. Why can't he bring fucking posters into the damn arena to cheer on the damn people that he wanted to cheer for?
And this is my thing too, specifically like with gymnastics, or if you much to like another extent, like women's sports compared to men's sports.
Talk about it, because that might be
I'm
what it
just
is.
being honest, and if I'm wrong, please, be devil's advocate and say it on the other. The men's gymnastics is not popular, and sports are really dominated by men. That's how it has always been.
Totally. Oh, that's
And
something we can talk about later. How Stanford got upset.
yeah, so
Sorry
I
to
feel like
interrupt
that.
you.
How
I
can
feel
we
like
talk about? But
I
hold
feel
on.
like
How
that
can we
hurt.
talk about it when there's literally nowhere way for him to watch it?
Mm-hmm.
How can we talk about it when there's no way to watch it? Men's gymnastics, y'all not out of it either. Men's NCAA gymnastics, because let me tell you something, men's NCAA gymnastics. You all are the best form of men's gymnastics. There is no reason why y'all aren't the most popular level of. It is really entertaining as
Mm-hmm.
fuck. It's just there is no television coverage at all. There is no YouTube stream. There is no way to physically put eyes on this shit. So then y'all wonder why all y'all fucking programs keep getting cut, because there's no way to watch
Mm-hmm.
it.
And it's
Y'all,
and it's too long. I was reading that they have a new system with the college.
oh my god, it is long. It
It's
is long.
long
Like
as hell. It's
each meet is
rotating,
like 3.5 hours.
but I think they're trying to move it towards like how the elites do. I think it's 4 up, 4 count, 4 up, 3 count, or something. A 4 up, 4 count now. It's not 6 on an event on 6 different apparatuses anymore.
But even that,
So
it's just
it's just I feel like that's
where do you
the thing
watch
about it too.
this? Or do y'all men's gymnastics like let me put the women to the side for a second. Do y'all expect people to come and put their asses in those seats to watch that shit? Is that y'all expectation? Because let me tell you something, men's gymnastics. Y'all are damn sure fucking fools. If y'all think people are going to spend their hard-earned money to come watch a bitch do some fucking pommel horse because Steven Erogic is popular right now, y'all are fucking insane.
Royal.
Talk your shit, baby Royal, because you know I'm right. Don't nobody want to see no damn Palmer horse. Don't nobody want to see no fucking ring.
Those should be separate events. People.
It truly should be. Not a part of men's artistic gymnastics. It should be for.
But I'm not even trying to like shit on it too much. I'm saying like they should have an event for pommel horse and rings that you can go to if you want to. It's just separate.
Have it over there with the tumbling people. Add those events to the tumbling people roster. The tumbling and trampoline people, and just do rings and pommel horse with the tumbling and trampoline people.
That's
I'm
not a
not
bad
gonna lie to
idea.
y'all. When nationals come in August to New Orleans, I will only be seeing the women. If they had a college meet going on,
No. Boo.
I would not
Boo.
watch the men. I'm
The men are so fun in person. I had so much fun at the men.
really.
Really, I'm not lying at all. Sure, there were
It's,
boring parts, but like there are boring parts with the women too.
I hate whenever an Olympics come and you got to go watch the men's floor, then the women's vault, then the men's palm horse. I
Oh my
hate it.
gosh.
I hate it. I just want to see the girls.
I love the men on
You want
vault.
to
I
see?
I I
I
like the
like the
men a lot on
I like the men's vault. I like their
what
floor.
vault and
I
floor
like
are the best. Let's
I
be
like the palm
honest.
horse, and I like the high bar. The other two events they can go ahead and go on and delete them. I would not miss
I also
palm
feel like
horse.
with going back to the women now, going back to staying with the women, because the men, that's a whole other can of worms why we don't watch the men. But the women, the issue. Okay, I'm just going to be very, very honest with the women in the NCAA. I understand. I understand if you want actual viewerships, you're gonna have to sacrifice some teams, and some teams just aren't gonna have to make the cut. And
Why is that?
if you want the viewership, you're gonna have to.
But why not just
It's not
why
dumbing down.
not make it so it's the lower ranked teams or the lower division, whatever, however you decide it, just aren't broadcasted.
That's what I'm talking
Don't
about.
cut the
What I'm
programs.
talking about. No, I'm not saying cut the programs. What I'm saying is they're gonna have to sacrifice some television time, and instead of playing everything on Fridays, maybe you just play like the top matchups.
But don't they don't show everything now, right?
You can find
It
everything
was
if
a
you
lot.
look
It was a
for
lot
it.
of meets this past weekend, but they were
Like
spread out over 3 days.
it's really good, but I'm not sure it's 100%, is it? And it would definitely be, wouldn't it be even less if, no, I guess Addix is just streaming other people's other streams. He's not broadcasting anything himself.
No, he's just streaming what he can find. So yeah, they all are televised if he can find them.
I'm not convinced it's 100%, but I don't know, and I'm missing the point. It's not important.
Mhm. Well, since we're on this subject, how did y'all first get intertwined in gymnastics? You got to think about it like what drew you to it to become the great fans and advocates for the sport that we are now in 2025. What drew y'all to it?
I thought it was insane that the girls could do the tricks they were doing. Like, what? You can do that with your body? You can flip and make it look so easy? Make it look effortless? That gagged me. That drew me
I,
in.
I was I was gagged by it too, and seeing it on TV was one thing, but once I saw it in person, it changed my whole trajectory of just what how I looked at the women doing it. And like I
Sure.
said, I love the tricks and the flipping and the all that, rah 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 stuff, but I also like the artistic part about it. It's something about the femininity adding to the athleticism that drew me into gymnastics that I don't get from tennis or women's basketball or track and field. So like I was saying earlier, it's like an acquired taste. A regular fan of an institution, like Michaela say, they're only going to watch it for so long if they don't like the sport or don't understand the sport. I feel like with gymnastics, you have to do a lot of explaining, but you also have to want to learn it. And I think people are just lazy. And that's not good for a sport like gymnastics or tennis. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, people understand, basketball, you just gotta really throw it in the goal and you get 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. With the little side stuff. Football, is
Oh my
so
gosh.
popular
Learning the
because
rules of
back and forth.
gymnastics and the judging
Yeah, it's
was a
it's
struggle.
it's it's
But it was so much
a
fun.
lot, but you had a vested interest in it. Why you love it. That's not everybody. You
Totally.
I also think under the 10.0 system,
know.
I think it's less explanation needed. If you just see a good routine and you see a sport and you can just, okay. But the open code, there's a lot more nuance and because a lot of the routines look very similar, but some people score way higher than other people score. So you have to explain that.
Of
But
course.
And scoring has always been a topic for discussion in the college ranks.
okay,
Scoring. People getting scored too high, bias. The judges are cheating for the home team, type of thing. Those things have been talked about for the last umpteen years as it relates to, NCAA gym. So, to find out that coaches had a big part in it, like, how are the coaches reprimanding people or allowed to let these judges, based off of how they score, are given assignments? I feel like that should be a totally different, entity. That's like telling the judges, the refs at a football game to, make sure you put less penalties on the home team or you're not going to be able to go ref next year. Like, no. And that's what it's been doing. So now scores are a little bit lower, which I still feel like some of them are too high. And people are in an uproar like NCAA is just dead and no one comes to the meets. There was a lot of, it was so many people at the meets. It's not across the board. Like you got LSU with their 12,000, Utah with their
can I ask you
10,000.
a question? Can I ask you a question,
Mm-hmm.
Shayna? Do you feel like it's not that people aren't going to the events? The issue is that where they're hosting the events are 9 times out of 10, it's going to be in their basketball arena.
Mm-hmm.
Their basketball arenas, because people do like basketball and people generally support basketball way more than they support gymnastics,
Correct.
can hold 10,000,
Mm-hmm.
30,000, 50,000 people in those basketball arenas. So when you're in those basketball arenas, right, they're breaking down all that shit. So you're just in the very center of the arena, right? And instead of blocking off the stadium, they just have everything wide open so it looks empty, but it's not really empty. It's just empty compared to basketball.
Yep. And I remember back in the day, UCLA did it, but LSU did it. They used to have like those big old black tarps, like
At
cover spot.
nationals, when I went to nationals for elite, half of the arena was blacked out.
Yeah, that's how it used to be. And now, like, teams like Michigan State, they switched to their bigger arena where they have their basketball games at. I think it was a school record, 6,000 people to watch a gymnastics meet last 2 weekends ago. Arkansas trying to move into a bigger arena. Kentucky redid their arena. Auburn has a nice crowd of people. Like the SEC has the crowds, but not really nowhere else. other than maybe Utah. They got to do something about that. You know,
What can you
Georgia,
do when these men own all the rights, are in charge of all these decisions?
Georgia been terrible for the last what 7, 8, 9 years, and they still average 8,000 people.
Well, there's a legacy there.
Right. They have a product, regardless if it's good or bad. They still have a product. Alabama still got people coming. You know, Clemson had huge crowds last year for their first year, so it's possible. You know, but you got to market properly. And people just in an uproar. And then Olivia Dunn get her ass up there, and she shouldn't have said nothing. That was another one. You already know these people wear her ass out on the daily. And then you want to,
And they need to leave my friend alone.
and then they
Because
want to
Olivia,
come up
what she
there
said,
and just rape her in the coals. And they was like, y'all, they was like, you need to be worried about these ring jumps. Like, I was just like, the internet is so cruel.
They will take any opportunity to get likes and reshares and follows at anyone's expense.
I would agree with this. I was saying I think what's really the issue with NCAA gymnastics is that it has become so watered down because they are so trying to so hard appeal to
Hmm.
everybody that it's too watered down. Like Floor now is unwatchable. It's just unwatchable. It's two
It's
passes.
repetitive. It's
You got the
repetitive.
same two passes. Everybody's doing Rudy layout, step out, punch front to double back. Those routines are getting 9.95s every week. While then you have a team like Kentucky who have one girl who's doing double layout, a middle pass that's good, ending with a double pike, and she's consistently scoring 9.825. And I'm just like,
What's her good pass?
I think it's like uh 1.5 through to a punch front full
That's her good pass?
for a middle pass. That's most people
Oh,
opening
for her
passes
middle pass.
now.
I didn't understand, sorry.
She's actually doing 3 passes.
That is good, that is good. But the bar is low.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. But no, but Oscar, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like at one point, and I'm not even saying that long
The
ago. I'm gonna say if
2000s.
it's not even that far back, I'm gonna say 2015. Most girls was opening their self floor routines with double layouts. Most girls was doing as a middle pass something through to a double tuck, like punch front through to a double tuck or whip through to a double tuck.
Totally.
It, it was starting to be some girls were starting to try to end their floor routines with a full in. And then Maggie Nichols happened and all of that went away.
Who are
And
some gymnasts who are ending with a full in?
Michaela Skinner,
Anyone else?
um, I think Maya Hambrook was either ending with a full in or a triple twist at one point in her
Were
routine.
any of the girls doing 4 passes?
There was this girl from I don't think they moved to the 4 passes.
Like, you
No.
can't remember anyone doing 4 passes in all of history.
I do remember some, but it wasn't it's never been a lot.
Anyone I would have heard of?
No.
Okay.
Um it was somebody else. I remember she was doing like she was going Arabian double front in her first ton of
Kennedy
pass.
Baker?
Full No, full in her second tumbling pass, and then she was into her flow routine with like a 2.5 twist punch front.
That's like an elite routine.
That's what I'm saying. Like the girls were doing tumbling passes.
It's
Like,
funny though, because
and
when I was getting into gymnastics, I would have thought that was not enough difficulty for elite. So getting into NCAA, because I didn't know NCAA existed for a long time. I was like so turned off because I was like, what is this? The difficulty is so low.
I'm so sorry, Shayna. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was into the conversation. Shayna, do you remember a girl who was doing those three tumbling passes? She was starting with an Arabian double front. Her middle tumbling pass was a full in, and she was ending with like a 2.5 twist punch front.
What school?
I don't know, but this was around like 2014, 2015.
Was it Kennedy Ebney?
She was doing the hard tumbling passes. She wasn't doing that hard.
I remember back in 2000. What year was that? Courtney Coupett's last year, 2009. ACK was doing something like that. She was doing a double A and a double
Who's
Arabian.
ACK?
Ashley Kerr Kerning.
Oh.
And up until 2017, McKenna Kelly she did a double A and a full in, and then a front through the double tuck.
McKenna Kelly was in it with a full in. Mary Lou Retton daughter.
Wow.
Yeah. That LSU team that year, they was all Bugs doing a double A and
But that's what I'm.
you know.
That's what I was trying to say, Shannon. It's like the girls used to do. Like it was standard for a girl to start her routine with a double A. Like I remember Alyssa Beckerman. People was reading her because she just started with a double tuck. Like that's why she never used to get tens on floor because we knew she can do a double layout. She just never chose to do it.
And I was sick of that fad. I was so sick of open with a double tuck or a double pike, do some type of little stupid middle pass.
I remember between, oh gosh, like again, that wasn't that long ago when people would start their routines with the double tuck. That was a read. It was like, why is she starting your routine so easily? Like, what's going on?
Are you
Like,
doing
is
some
she
type
hurt?
of variation of a front full or
Like,
layout full, and then
what's her
a
name?
pike at the end, and then that was it.
What's her name? Nora Flatley? Or was she doing more?
Nora was starting with the triple.
She had started with the triple.
I think that was just her as an upper
Kristen
class.
Maloney, she had some nice difficulties. Well, she was doing what, a double A and a triple her fifth year.
Kristen Maloney was doing.
Yeah,
I think Kristen Maloney would even pull it sometimes and do her full twist and double
I think
layout.
so. So that's what's hurting the sport. It's so repetitive.
It's just it's
so repetitive.
I'm gonna say this again. Some of the gymnasts are gonna have to be left behind for the NCAA. Like,
wait, you should finish that because you're leaving yourself open to unfair criticism.
I feel like there should be a certain level of difficulty that the girls should be able to do, and if you can't do it,
that's your prerogative, but you won't be broadcasted. Sorry to your family.
I don't even think it's deeper than that. Lose your scholarship, maybe.
They finna be, if they do the 20 scholarships on the team, they finna be fighting for them spots anyway to not never compete.
Because I just don't know. It's just and then it's not all it is because I think Beam has progressed very nicely throughout the year. Like I think it's the same level of difficulty as it's always been. Maybe a little bit harder because the girls do harder leaps than they used to do and harder turns. But bars and floor has really digressed so bad in the NCAA. Like it's hard to watch both of those events. And y'all know bars is my favorite event, and bars is just really hard to watch in the NCAA.
Don't you think bars has gotten too repetitive in elite too?
Absolutely. It's like they only value the same skills. It's those shaps, it's the pats, and it's the Takachev variations. And those are the only type of skills that they seem to put value in.
I'm so happy that they I don't know if it's like if you could really well they upgraded it, but didn't endos used to be E's anyways?
Inverted endos, but they upgraded the regular endos.
But I think that last quad and maybe the quad before, there was a period where reverse grip and L grip endos were both D's. Or like they were both D like none of them were E's. And now an endo full in both of those grips gets an E value, is my understanding. I could be wrong.
So
Shayna,
guys,
are you able to like in real time tell the difference between reverse grip and L grip?
If I can see it really well, yeah.
But Michaela
I
can
wouldn't
see
think
it
that
from no matter what the angle is, from across the room, like in a foggy room.
oh, because I love the Chinese gymnasts. So you know, you have to. If you like Chinese gymnastics, you better understand the difference between those grips, because you would be lost at start values if
Well,
not.
understanding is
Um,
one thing, but being able to literally see with your eyes the difference in real time is a real
I mean,
skill.
I
That's a
don't.
talent you have.
I don't understand how y'all can't because it's so easy. I don't understand how people can't. It's like okay, but whatever.
It took me months, if not longer, for Michaela to teach me just understanding the difference between the E pirouettes.
Um. So you guys. So basically, to put a nutshell on that conversation is, if we want to grow the sport, there has to be smarter decisions, and there has to be a less catering to non-gymnastics fans and a more catering to the actual gymnastics fan. And that's across the board. Like one of the things that I always bothered me with something that Simone said was she doesn't do gymnastics for the fans, she does it for the judges. And I feel like that is a sentiment from a lot of
When did
people.
she say that?
And I don't remember.
It's, I don't
But
remember her saying that. Maybe I hope she's
it
changed
was
her feelings about that.
um if you want viewerships, you're gonna have to do gymnastics to the fans, not to the judges. You're going to have to make gymnastics entertaining for the fans, not the little girls who you hope to groom into the sport for the future. Um,
A word.
is the culture is just gonna have to change. Like, yeah, the girls are gonna have to get used to being taunted at these meets. That's what happens to any other athlete in any other sport that across the world. Um,
So it's not for the casual fans. You have to cater to the gymnastics fans.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And then to the NCAA, you're gonna have to cater to the NCAA gymnastics fan, which is a completely, totally different subset of the gymnastics fan. Because as Oscar is so hyped about this weekend, did not watch not one meet. Not one. Not one. And he's a gymnastics fan. And if y'all can't get Oscar to watch y'all shit, how the hell do y'all expect to get Susie Q, who barely knows anything about gymnastics, to watch y'all shit? Moving on. Damn, Shayna, what's the tea, girl? So, we started off with the Florida recap. This is boring. Oscar, do you have anything to say about how Florida was scored this weekend? Do you have any opinion?
I guess not. I didn't see one routine. I'm so surprised that I didn't see a routine on Twitter. Nothing came to me like it usually does. Not even my baby Leanne.
Yeah, they didn't post the individual routine.
I
Man, maybe Florida was.
I'm lying. I saw Riley McCusker's bar routine, but they conveniently edited out her dismount. How did her dismount go?
I think she took a. I think she's.
As long as she didn't crash, yeah, I'm like happy for her.
No, I think she either stuck it or took a hop back. I think she scored the highest score of her season, which was like a 9.875 on it.
Why do you think they would edit it out then? I was so confused. I thought she must have crashed it.
Um, Riley McCusker is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, there's just no way her routine should ever score that high because of her double layout. It's like, it's so bad, Riley. No, I know I give you a lot of shit, but I'm not trying to. It's just, you can do a full pirouette to a double tuck. You can do a toe on, toe off to a double tuck. There's just no reason for you to be trying so hard for this double layout for no reason. Like, I know Jay Carey learned the double layout. And I know y'all are friends, but I
What do you think? What do you think Riley's career would be like if she had gone to OSU with Jaje?
the same.
Okay. You don't think she would be like competing all around, but like with really watered down difficulty?
I think her injuries would have still hampered her either way.
Definitely hampered, but I wonder if she would have like, cause maybe she could do that, but it's not up to Florida standards for the other events. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Oregon State would let her do, I don't know, a double, a Yurchenko laid out or a Yurchenko tuck and like a double twist on floor.
Maybe if she had to do more gymnastics, she could.
Well, she chose the path she chose. How did Selena Harris look this week?
She looked okay. I mean, all the Florida girls look good. It's just, it's hard for me to really have an opinion when the scores were so wild. Like, I don't know how to feel about it because I can see that Florida as a team, this was their best meet of the season. It's just, I just so disagree with most of their scores on every event.
Can you break it down a little bit, like what they were getting on ball, what they should have got? Who was there one gymnast who was the most overscored?
Their most overscored gymnast was Salone.
Wow, okay.
Salon scored 9925 basically or higher on every event with not a stuck landing in the competition.
And were they at Gainesville?
I believe so. Like, and then again with vault, with Florida and vault, it's like they all had 10.0 vaults, but they had not a stuck landing on vault. And I think the lowest score they had was like a 9875. And they had big hops and big landing deductions and like sloppy in the air and like
Oh no.
clear split on the block.
It's
Like
it's
they did have,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, you finish, please.
Like I think their highest vault score should have been a 985.
Do you think
Even with Lee,
even with Leanne,
even with Leanne, like her vault is digressing badly. Like, I would just have Leanne doing the Yurchenko full at this point.
I don't think she really ever like she needs to keep her legs together if she wants to ever think about getting earning a 10.
Yeah.
It is technically true though that you can take there's such thing as a half a tenth hop or step on landing, right? In NCAA.
I believe so.
So in theory, a 9.925 could be a fair score even if they don't stick.
No, because that means one judge had to give her a 9.9 and another judge had to give her a 9.95. So
What if that was the only deduction was the hop or the step?
with Florida, there wasn't.
We're talking
There
about
was other things.
hypotheticals. But with Florida, there wasn't. Okay. Did Sky Blakely compete on anything?
I think she did bars. Ain't no, I know she did bars.
How did it look?
She's only did bars this season.
Was it better than week one?
Oh yeah, she's getting better. It's just I think she stuck her dismount. It's just with Sky, it's these Higgin rolls. It's like they're just nowhere near handstand and like they should be.
She does two Higgins rolls. I thought one of them was a hop.
No, she does one Higgins and no, she just does one, but it's that one is so
Oh, she got rid of her Pike
bad.
Jaeger for collegiate.
Yeah, she does a Richna to a
I thought
patch.
she was doing two releases for some reason. Are you one of those people who considers transitions a release?
No, I don't. I mean, I understand logically that you are literally releasing the bars. It's just I don't consider them release moves.
You're right. You're right. They
So
are technically releases.
I mean, you are releasing the bar and catching the other bar, so yeah, it's a
Just
release. But
whenever I say when I'm talking about a release, I'm talking about a single bar release, and it pisses me off in the old NBC broadcasts with like Elfie Schlegel when they would be like, she has 4 releases in this routine, and one of them was like a bail. That felt misleading. Um, why do you think that Auburn? Every time I ask you about your ranking for the SEC teams, you always have Auburn like Auburn is never in the bottom.
Auburn has been doing good this year.
I haven't seen like any routine since week one of Caitlin Jong on bars.
I mean, I don't sit up there and watch their competitions, but I see what scores they're getting, and they're beating a lot of other SEC teams.
Did you watch Arkansas versus LSU?
I did not.
Not interested? You're not gonna go back and watch it either?
I saw the couple of routines that I wanted to watch.
And how did those scores look?
There's no way Arkansas can be getting as high scores as they're getting. I don't think Arkansas should have beat LSU, to be honest. I don't think Arkansas has a routine other than Jocelyn that should be scoring higher than a 9.75
So they were overscored for your taste?
for my taste. Yes.
Okay. Um, have you ever heard of an NCAA coach acknowledging in any way that a routine from their team was overscored?
No.
Okay. Jocelyn took over. She did a GK Elite Instagram takeover today, and she said that she's eyeing 2028 Olympics for a comeback. But I wasn't surprised because, like, who isn't? In my mind, at least. Um, are we gonna do a ranking since it's Monday?
Um, we can. I was kind of waiting for Shayna to get back. If she don't come back soon, I'm damn sure for the end of the show we could try again tomorrow. But my ranking are. I think I
Talk to
posted
me
it.
about Kentucky Mizzou. You watched that meet. I'm trying to I'm trying to feed you stuff. You're not biting.
I know, as I said in the group chat, I have not watched much of NCAA gymnastics this weekend myself, so I am not the person to rely on for these conversations. This is why we have Shayna and Ezra around, and when they choose to not be around for these conversations, it's hard to fulfill the time because I don't
But
know.
let's talk about what
Um,
you did see. Mizzou versus Kentucky.
Missouri, Missouri versus Kentucky was the best meet of the weekend to me. It was the closest. It wasn't really that close, but like as far as team wise, it was a really good matchup. Missouri kicked Kentucky ass as they should have. Missouri looked really, really, really strong, like very strong, as they've been looking this entire season.
Who stood out
I
to
think
you?
Missouri might
Which routines
surprise.
stand out to you?
Missouri. They don't. Missouri don't have like individual gymnasts that like woo, but just like as a whole, I'm really impressed by their vaulting lineups. They have really good vaulters.
They have Jocelyn
I'm
Moore
really
on vault. They have Helen Hu on beam.
their whole beam rotation, other than Helen, is very good. They just need to set Helen up better. Like the girl who goes before Helen can't be fucking up the thing and then expecting Helen to get
That's
10. Like she
the girl that goes for
Shayna!
is I had two calls back to back, y'all. Um, the freshman that goes before Helen is she's a freshman. I think her name was something Jackson. They real clean. They have the Oklahoma transfer and the Illinois transfer in that lineup. They looked really strong. Some of those beam scores were a little high to me, but nothing just too extravagantly high. They have
and
great floor
even
routines. Hannah Horton, she's gonna be a little star once she get like confidence. 'Cause she's great. Her mechanics are wonderful. Everything she do. Um,
Shayna, did you watch Bama versus OU? Did you see Jamison Sears on floor?
I did not because I started watching LSU. I
Oh.
watched the I watched the first three I watched the first three rotations. I didn't see the last one.
Well, welcome back, Jamison Sears.
How
We
did she
missed
do?
you.
How did she do?
I only saw her leap pass, and it looks beautiful. Great amplitude over
Oh my
splits.
god, elite pass of all. I was so impressed with Michigan State too. They scores didn't indicate it, but they told Ohio State ass up. Um,
Oh, I have
you
an
know
answer for your question from way earlier. Audrey Davis was getting heckled as she was about to anchor for OU on vault.
okay. So, um, the vaulting coach is whatchamacallit's husband.
Is it? I think they were saying it
Lou,
was Tom Haley, not Lou Ball.
Tom Haley is the other assistant, but he stands in the front, I think, of the runway.
Well,
So
he had to like
he would have seen it. Lou, I think, stands at the end of the runway when they land.
in the video. He's like he walks across the camera to get to this guy, so he wasn't standing there. So it could be him.
But see, even that, what the guy was doing. Okay, and I'm going to stop saying guy because he was clearly a college student. What the young man was doing was not wrong. What he was doing was not wrong. It was not wrong. He was supporting Alabama's gymnastics. It was wrong. And for everybody to act like what he did as a fan was wrong is the issue. This is why don't nobody want to go watch gymnastics now live because you are sucking the fun out of this sport.
Yeah, and you know what I was about to say.
Also, when I went to, I can't even imagine what would have happened if I had heckled someone. I the meets I went to, but
Did you
like
see
even when
that?
I was at the elite meets I would go to, when I would cheer, everyone around me would look at me like I was like not just a weirdo. They would look at me like so strange, like I was like I was like a pedophile or something. Like, what are you doing?
And then
Because
they
I would.
have all these people with speedos on at the Missouri meet. Did y'all see that?
No, I did not.
They were naked, practically standing by the beam, like in the stands. I thought
That
they just
that
had.
seems really inappropriate.
I just thought they were missing shirts until I saw that all these men have fucking speedos on. They're practically naked in the stands.
I don't like that.
But I don't remember seeing that. I don't. I maybe couldn't have. But I was just like, how the hell did they come to a meet like this? You know?
Did you see that Kohei Uchimura, after retiring, he still is able to throw a Brett Schneider on high bar,
I
which is
can believe
a
it.
double twisting Kovacs.
I can believe it.
He's
He's
also
one of
messing
the.
around with a Yurchenko double pike on vault.
He's one of the greats.
Oh, I think he's the greatest.
If he's still in shape, you know. What do y'all think about how do y'all honest opinion we talk about how the scoring was just so bad at that Florida Georgia meet. How do y'all feel about Georgia?
I was meaning to ask you, both of you. I saw that Jeffrey Scott was out with the flu this week, so I'm not surprised that they didn't
Yeah.
put in their best score.
Mm-hmm. I
I
think
saw Lily Smith competed bars for the first time this season after She was
A little off.
injured.
She was a little off to me all night, and I think that's just probably since she's been out with a
Yeah.
hand injury. I think just the lack of numbers. I think that's why we're seeing that with Haley Bryant as well.
I
Uh,
only saw Lily's bars, and yes, it wasn't her best. She had some small errors, but
yeah,
she still has beautiful form and
yeah,
technique,
she
and
does.
it's still a pleasure to watch her, in my
She
opinion.
does, but she can't be half stepping for them if they want to stay out of that last spot because Arkansas gonna come for their ass. And Arkansas has more. You got to think about it. Those rankings are going to change drastically once art that NQS kicks in. So
It
all
still
these
hasn't
bad.
started? Are you kidding me?
No, that doesn't start until like the end of February. We had
Dang.
this conversation before, Oscar.
And that conversation felt like it was ages ago, so I was sure it had started by now.
Yeah, so Arkansas may be 9 right now, but if Georgia can't score any 197s and Arkansas does, and then Alabama's still having terrible meets as well. So,
Is that right? Arkansas is number 9 right now?
hmm
I thought I read that Alabama dropped to 9, but that
oh,
seems shocking.
did they in the rankings?
That's what I read, but
Oh,
not on the website.
Was it for their country or just for
mhm.
the SEC?
Someone wrote on Twitter, like, wow, like Bama's number 9 in the SEC, lol.
I'm about to go look now, and then or with that terrible judging and LSU's horrible meet, Florida leapfrogged them to number 2 in the
Really?
I
nation.
don't understand how, because if Georgia lost two SEC meets this season, Alabama just lost
Oh, you're
one.
right. It is Alabama.
Oh my god, Nada's having a bot in the chat. Can you kick them out?
Oklahoma 1, Florida 2, LSU 3,
I blocked them on Restream. If one of my moderators on Twitter can block them on Twitter, or not Twitter,
Kentucky
Wait,
4.
um,
wait, before you finish, Shayna, are we comfortable knowing this? I'm worried this will affect my actual ranking.
I
Or
mean,
should we
you
know
gotta
it?
do it based off of the rankings and based off of what you see. I didn't know Alabama went that far down,
No, you're right. We should have as much
Alabama,
information as possible to form our
but
own opinions.
I told y'all I
Alabama,
was not.
Alabama still isn't my ninth team though. But I don't give a damn. They're not my
Alabama
ninth
just
team.
does not impress. I told y'all this. If you go back
They're not impressing me, but they're not the worst team in the SEC.
and Georgia is really close. It's close, y'all, with just the scores
I
in
think okay,
general.
okay, let's do this. Let's do this before we let's do our rankings. Let's do our rankings and then let's see how our rankings compare to where they have them in the actual official ranking. So my rankings, the way I would do it, if it was well, it is me. This is our show.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas would be 9, Georgia would be 8, Alabama would be 7, Auburn would be 6, Kentucky would be 5, Missouri would be 4, Florida still would be 3, LSU would be 2, OU would be 1.
That's mine to the T. I just still kind of like I'm in the phase of swapping. Even though Missouri just whooped Kentucky, I felt like it could have been a different story had that meet been in Kentucky. So
Was it in Missouri?
it was in Missouri, yeah.
Oh. I
And
think
then
mine
just
would
the
be slightly
ramifications.
different.
I think mine's are exactly how Michaela has hers. I don't think Florida is better than LSU. LSU had an off meet. Florida meet was overscored to the 10th power. Missouri is coming. It's close. Kentucky's average is 196.867. Missouri is 196.69. Auburn is 196.61. Georgia is 196.54. Arkansas is 196.5. Alabama 196.475. It's gonna be a dogfight.
I would put I might just only have one different. I can't quite remember what you said, but
You high
ninth
on
would
Georgia.
be Arkansas. Eighth would be Georgia because Jeffrey wasn't there this week. Seven would be Auburn. Six would be
Not the Auburn erasure.
I asked you to tell me why I should root for them, why I should care about them, and you couldn't tell me anything.
They haven't scored less than a 196 this whole season.
Has Georgia?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Can you confirm that, Shayna?
What?
Has Georgia scored less than a 196 this season?
I think they first meet they did.
I just think Georgia has more potential. Um,
They do because they got some girls and that little freshman of theirs. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's real cute with the suit full
ooh, I
vault.
love a Sioux Fall.
Yeah. Um,
So
they
I
had a
guess I
lot of
would
big.
just switch Alabama and Auburn. But maybe I
Auburn,
would even put
Auburn,
Alabama above Kentucky.
no, indeed,
What?
no, indeedy.
No, I feel like Alabama has
What?
potential, and
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky. Alabama definitely has more stars than Kentucky, unfortunately.
Alabama don't have not a liquor star.
Jamison Sears. Um, there's that other one who I don't like personally, but her gymnastics is strong. Lily Hudson. She's a good competitor. Um, they have some other elites. Don't they have do they have Shania Adams? But I heard she was falling. Um,
Oh yeah, I have to go. Oh,
oh, you have to go?
shit. I have something for school. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh no.
And I'll probably be back because I think it's only supposed to be like 30 minutes, but I have to get on with my group members.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Okay.
Nice talking with you.
I will try to be back. Okay.
I'm not too optimistic about us being here in 30 minutes, but we'll see.
Okay.
We won't, because I have to go to work. So.
Yeah, Michaela's over. So just to finish, or let me look at Alabama's roster.
Go ahead.
Mm, Shania Adams. Karis Gurman. I love her.
Wait, she goes to Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And they have Chloe LeCourcier. I like her too a lot.
I don't.
And they have Faye Rodeo with the short hair. I remember shouting her out before the season began. So yeah, Alabama is well. Mm, I only watched that one meet with Kentucky where they flopped, and I know that's not an accurate representation because I think they've done better since that.
What made the Kentucky flop this year? Kentucky beat
I
Alabama.
think it was their first meet. It was like against UCLA, and Delaney Rodriguez, their star,
Oh,
was like flopping.
they didn't necessarily flop. They just didn't do as good as they could have did. But I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean.
But you told me that they did a lot better in the meets after that, and so did Shayna.
Oh, they did. Oh yeah. Oh
Is
yeah.
Isabella
Even that
Magnelli doing well now?
they're all doing good. Even that meet that they lost to Missouri, like they didn't do bad. Missouri just um beat them, but they didn't do bad at all.
Yeah, they only lost by
Like
4/10. To me, 4/10 is not a lot in the NCAA. Is it a lot?
it is.
Oh, okay.
It's almost a fall.
So, so could you summarize why Kentucky, why Alabama is not as good as Kentucky or Mizzou?
Alabama have a lot of pieces. They just don't have a full and complete puzzle. They have a lot of good people who are good on certain events, but then they have a lot of holes on other events, such as they have a lot of vaulters. They don't have a lot of bar workers or beam workers or floor workers.
Okay. So that really high score that they got was like a fluke kind of?
It was basically everybody did the best that they could possibly do, but that's not how Alabama always perform.
It was like a 197.65.
Correct. They have the potential to be that them girls every week. They just don't.
And do you think Kentucky and Mizzou have the potential to score like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. It's just a bit off-putting to me to see Alabama drop so far in our rankings, you know? There was one week where you had them third, I think. Anyway, well, we had Arkansas fourth for like multiple weeks.
Yeah, preseason I thought Alabama would do a lot better than they have been doing. They haven't.
Okay, I'll change my mind and be difficult. Alabama can be sixth above Auburn, and then fifth will be. It's really hard for me because I haven't watched Mizzou, but I trust you and Shayna, so I agree with your top five. It goes Kentucky, Mizzou, Florida, LSU, OU. Did I miss a team? I think that's right.
But I think you got it all.
Great.
Uh,
Anything else you
I
want to
feel
talk
like I'm.
about? Or I have a few things we could just skimming through my Twitter.
Yes, me too. Ooh.
Do you want to go first or should I?
I don't feel like y'all are being completely fair to Jade Carey. Yes, Auburn beat them, but I, I, mm, I have something I do want to talk about, but I'm going to try to talk about it in the
Hello.
most diplomatic. Are you still
I'm
here?
back.
What was that? Oh,
Yes.
Shayna.
There.
hmm it's
Shayna
the
playing
Zoom. I had got a
games.
Zoom meeting and it came up, and then I looked at the y'all. I'm tired. That's probably what it is. And I looked at it and it said Tuesday, January 28th. So
Oh, for
so it's
tomorrow.
tomorrow, and not today.
Ah, okay.
I've been doing a lot. I just started my new job today, but I'm still working at my old job, and I've been having a lot of schoolwork, and I need rest. But I have to go back
Oh,
to
that's
work.
why I feel so damn tired today because I had to do a double yesterday. That's
hmm
what it is.
And I'm just, baby, I'm not 23 years old anymore. Can do all this without sleep. Mama needs rest. But what did I miss?
You see these
Nothing.
Oscar like these?
Oh, cute,
I just finished
purple.
the ranking. I put Alabama in sixth,
That's too high, but that's your rankings.
but I was gonna put them above Kentucky, and I didn't.
I would
Michaela
never.
convinced me. We looked
Alabama.
at the
Shayna,
roster
what?
and we said,
I'm just
I looked at
not.
Chloe
I'm not a
LaCourcier and
proponent.
Karis Gurman.
I think the bottom
Shayna,
three are the proper bottom three. I do think Auburn
Shayna.
is better than Arkansas, Georgia.
You do?
I
Oh,
I
oh,
think
I'm so sorry.
Auburn is better than Arkansas, Georgia, and Alabama. I think Alabama, Georgia, and Arkansas are going to be the bottom three.
Who would you, not to be nasty, but who would you like to see be ninth?
Alabama.
Okay. Okay.
Because Alabama does, and this is just me. I could love a team, hate a team, love certain gymnasts on a team. Georgia has Lily Smith and Jeffrey Scott. I love them too.
Me
Like I
too.
love them. And I don't have somebody on Alabama's team that I can say that about.
Mm.
No
It.
one on that Alabama team to me is 9-9 worthy. Maybe with the exception of the little Gabby Gladio girl on certain events and Lily Hudson on like vault.
Well,
Why is Karis Gurman not competing?
She competed vault, but it's just like, she just, I don't know. Shania Adams is just rough. I don't know what she doing. It's just they don't have nothing. I don't have, and then like the coaching staff, Ashley Preece. If I compare her to Jordan at Arkansas, I like Jordan. It's certain. I love Leah Smith. I love Frankie Price. So it's like I like people more on those teams compared to Alabama. I
What
just can't
about
see it.
you don't think Jameson can get 9 9s on floor?
If she can compete, Jameson really haven't shown much. She's been
This
in
was her first
spurts.
week back. She was injured.
Okay.
I definitely think she can get 9 9.
She was supposed to be like they girl though, coming into college, and it has
how
not
much practice was she doing, Oscar?
it has not translated.
What's the first team, Oscar?
Wait, why are you being why are you antagonizing me? I told you I only saw her leap pass.
Because how can you sit there and say you definitely think she's 9-9 if you don't even know what she's doing?
Yeah,
Because I
she.
know her potential and I remember from last season. Okay. I'm gonna look for her routine
Last year
now.
doesn't mean
She's a little spitfire, but she's and she can be sweet all outdoor. I don't know, but she had a 1.5. I'm sure she came to Alabama, and then all she did was a Lichenko full and was scoring 9 sevens last year.
okay, I got does Grace only do a Yurchenko full now for her vault? She doesn't do her Yurchenko 1.5
I don't
anymore?
watch Utah. I don't see it for them either. I don't give a damn what the rankings say.
Alabama versus OU.
We was talking. She was talking about Grace on vault. What is
No,
she
yeah,
performing
that's
right
right.
now?
I thought she was doing the Tuck
I think
Lopez.
That was last year. I
she
think
only
she went to the 1.5, and then I think
yeah,
she
she did
downgraded to the
Yurchenko 1.5 last year.
full.
And all this year, I've only seen her do the Yurchenko full. I haven't seen
Yeah,
her do the
they
one and
they
a half
saying
or
it.
the
They
Tuck
saying
Lopez.
it's because she's having a wrist injury type of thing. But you still swinging bars and doing floor and beam sets. I just think she just sucks on vault. That's just my opinion. And
It's always been her worst
Okay,
event.
they was
Jameson
It's
saying that
always
opens
about
with a beautiful double pike.
who opens with a
And
double pike,
Jameson opens with a beautiful double pike, and then her next pass is a punch front through to
a double
a
tuck.
beautiful double tuck, but she was a little short, and she got a 975.
Yeah, see, last year she was opening up with a double A. Her best routine was at the SEC championship that I got to see in person. It was a really good routine.
this is something else while we're
I'm so
here that
jealous.
pisses me off about these floor routines. I understand y'all gonna do the two passes right, but it pisses me off when I see y'all doing your two easiest passes. Like I know you used to do an Arabian double front or a full in or a double layout, but you're doing your second pass and your last pass and still scoring a 10.0, and then how does that even make sense?
So Grace McCallum, I'm looking for her vault right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another thing, Olivia Kelly. She's gonna be great for Missouri.
Grace is doing
Yes.
a Yurchenko 1.5. Step to the
Hmm.
side. It looked pretty good. It looks pretty good. And she
Oh, she
gets
did do it.
a 9.850.
Okay.
It looked better than I thought it would look.
But it's like they don't have nobody else. It's like no one can score 10 on vault except the one that got hurt. Um, Jaden
Jaden
Rucker,
Rucker.
you know. And then you got Avery Neff talking about she got very bad springs. Cause she basically was really their best vaulter on top of they got
What vault was Avery doing? Was Avery doing a Yurchenko 1.5?
yeah, she was a Yachenko 1.5 girl. You got Amelie Morgan Harbor 1.5. Ashley Glenn is pretty decent on her 1.5. And you got McKenna Smith.
You know who had a really good Yurchenko 1.5 for? I think she's competes at. It's not. I think I know she competes at Minnesota. Ava Stewart. I'm surprised how good she
Did
is in the
Minnesota
NCAA.
scored a 197, didn't they?
That's my other team. I love
I think they
Minnesota.
scored a
Now, Shayna, what I was
197
going to ask
yesterday.
Shayna, do you think you could do a ranking of the Pac-10? Like, I'm not going to make. I'm not. Well, no, I'm not going to make a graphic or nothing. But
Will you make a
from the
graphic for
Pac,
the SEC?
I am definitely making a graphic for the SEC tonight. I'm going to be at work.
Yay!
And
Thank you.
but for the Pac-10, can you give a ranking? Do you know those teams well enough to give a ranking?
Oh, I do.
Okay, let's do it.
Before you start, or no, one thing at a time. Please go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Hold on. Clemson at Cal was a decent meet. Um, Arizona, that's my team right there. John Court, shout out to him. They looked good on ESPN the other night. Um,
Did UCLA, were they on a bye week this week?
UCLA was
No,
at home. Minnesota, 197,325 at Iowa, 195,625. Minnesota, the Big Ten is finna be popping.
Who was
If
UCLA against this
that's
week?
what I mean. I don't mean Pac-10. I mean
the
Big
Big Ten
Ten.
is
That's
finna
what
be
I meant to say.
popping, if you got Michigan State, the defending champions, doing well, number 5 in the nation. You got UCLA on the up and up, and then you got a Minnesota scoring a 197,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not including, Michigan. Those girls, they steady
Yep.
progressing too with all those freshmen. So it's gonna be that's gonna be a good race as well.
Oh, and part two to the fan conversation. Every meet should be on podium. No more of this damn. Every meet should be on a fucking podium. Every meet should be on the podium. Every meet should be on the podium. Every single
Mhm.
meet should be on the podium. When y'all have these gymnastics, college meets on these damn basketball arena floors, it makes it look so unimportant and so unserious. Every meet needs to be on the podium.
Who was at UCLA this week?
Illinois.
UCLA
It was Illinois.
Why do you think they're not on number one
was
gym
narrow.
fan?
Um, mhm.
Oh, because someone else posted it. Whoa, there's so many UCLA fans. 3 different people on YouTube posted the whole meet.
What did Moscaponia fan post it?
Mustapanova fan, Kabir BD vlogs, and Killer Cars.
I just start following that Killer Cars person.
What happened with Kaylin Chio? Someone said she fell.
She didn't have a good meet.
Yeah,
She really didn't.
What did
Um,
she fall on?
she didn't.
bars.
She didn't fall on anything. She misstepped on a jump. on floor and did not get credit for it.
Whoa, I need to watch that
But
right
it
now.
looked like she had like twisted her ankle in the process of it. Kind of was scary because I was like, oh my God, LSU is the walking dead. They need her. But she ended up coming back and doing a decent beam set. She won vault with a 995. Yeah, it was a nasty. It was. It could have been a lot worse than what it was. I'm just so ready for like Haley Bryan to be back in the all around. That's why I say I'm just not counting out my Tigers yet because they got so many pieces of the puzzle that have to be formulated for them to be able to, get it together. They need Haley. They need KJ Johnson. They need Connor on floor because LSU's floor is not what it nothing compared to last season. Um, but they have the pieces. And I feel like if Florida get their bars together,
Oh,
if they
definitely.
get,
First of all, Riley, no tea, no shade. You don't need to be in that lineup
you
no
know,
more. You
because
know,
I just feel like these teams that got 4 and 5 all arounders.
Riley, work on Bean. Bean, maybe you could make that lineup, but bars, it's that dismount sis. It's just not. The double A is bad. It's bad.
You know, Oklahoma riding with these 4 and 5 all arounders. Them girls gonna be tired come SECs. She need to pace them a little more. It's a long
So y'all ready
season.
for the message part of the show, and then we could get off and
What's the
we could
mess?
do what we.
I thought you were gonna finish doing the Big Ten or Pac-10 ranking.
Oh yeah. It's the Big Ten. Um, it's Michigan State and UCLA top two. Michigan
Oh, she
State.
did a switch ring, and then she was gonna do another leap, I think, and she
Yeah,
just didn't. She awkwardly paused. It
yeah.
looked like almost. I mean, she did kind of roll her ankle, but the pause looked like if you remember Jordan Childs in the team final at the Tokyo Olympics when she was supposed to do
Uh-huh.
her Bulamar or whatever, her Johnson half. She just stood there and looked
Mm-hmm.
like a deer in headlights.
So I think her star value ended up being like a 9.3 and a 9.4.
She got a 9250.
And then Aaliyah Finnegan, but they took forever to like the meet was just weird, and there's no excuse because Aaliyah Finnegan is this Olympian and a senior, but they took forever to
And the better Finnegan sister.
they. Mm.
Oh, what do you think, Shayna? Because
I
we
said,
feel the
I
other
said,
way.
I said, Aaliyah was the better athlete, but Sarah was the better gymnast. If that made sense.
Oh, not Kaylin adding this busted switch leap at the end of her routine. Did she do that to try to like start from a 10? Or is that always in her routine?
I don't know. But y'all ready for the mess? While Shannon's going to get off. Shannon's back.
Wait, let me
So
ask her again. I didn't realize she was gone. Shayna, does Kaylin always do that busted switch leap at the end? Or did she add it in to try to start from a 10?
It's always there.
Okay.
so without naming names, without getting too personal, without naming names, places, people, or times, but also having this conversation because it's going on the internet and I'm grown and I can do it. I think is I think it's real rich when certain people in gymnastics, media, blogging, or podcast arenas get on certain high horses about other people being transphobic. I just I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was said. I just know everybody shouldn't dip their toe into every pond, and you know, sometimes it's cool to just let some shit go and not make it a bigger deal than it actually wasn't. Because, then people have the opportunity to pull back things that other people have said in the past. And so, yeah, those are my 2 cents. Just, you don't always have to what is the phrase? You don't always have to pull up for everybody's dining table or something like that, or you don't have to create space at everybody else's table. So sometimes it's just best to let some shit go.
Mm, all things considered, that was not so messy.
Oh, okay, good. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working
It's
on
not
it.
too late if you want to go back in.
No, I don't want to go through it. I just feel like some people should. A lot of people over the years have said some really horrible shit about trans people. Even trans people have said some really horrible shit about trans people. And even though it's not right, I don't think people should be so quick to villainize people when we've all said really horrible things in the past. And I will leave it at that. Um, this was a really fun show, you guys.
Yeah.
Wait, we can't finish yet. Please, I want to just spend 5 minutes on some hot topics
Okay.
or just some shout outs. I tried to start it earlier, but then we got, I don't know, I forgot or something. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Um, okay, I wanted to shout out Charlie Larson, who used to be at Minnesota Gymnastics before their program got cut. They're doing a great floor for Michigan now. That has like a
Oh, we're talking about men's gymnastics, huh? Okay.
mm-hmm. He did like
Okay.
a Moores and a Chuso, and he dismounted with a double layout. I really liked that they had Marzetta Frazier commentating for UCLA that meet this week, and that they had some celebrities, some actresses, including Gabrielle Union and Taraji P. Henson at UCLA's meet. Um,
It's very shady that they did not put Sanaa Latham in those damn publications because she was rooting for the other team.
I didn't even see that. I did not see that. She was there as well. She's
Yes,
in the photo that's on my Twitter with Jordan Childs.
she's absolutely is.
Um, anything else? I think the last thing was something I like mentioned earlier, and I don't have much to say about it, but I'll say what I know or what I read, which I sent in our group chat for the show. I'm just finding it again. It was, where is it? Oh, here it is. Number one, Stanford's 5-year streak of winning the Stanford Open was snapped when number five, Ohio State, upset the reigning national champions by like 4 points or something. And this is the men's, obviously. And Ohio State's the Buckeyes were led by Cameron Nelson, who put up the nation's highest floor with a 14.6. And if you don't remember who Cameron Nelson is, he's the one we talked about a few weeks back on the show. He's the first gymnast, male or female, collegiate or elite, as far as I know, to compete or even attempt a triple pike back and a triple tuck back in one floor routine.
Now, the one routine that they gave him credit for both of those skills, they absolutely should have not. But then he did it other times where he either landed the triple pike and fell on the triple tuck, or fell on the triple pike and landed the triple tuck. So I'm assuming that this meet he did them both.
I didn't see the routine, but I thought it was impressive. I thought it was noteworthy, newsworthy that Stanford is getting beat at home or whatever at their own meet. Stanford is like, I only hear dominance when it comes to Stanford's men program for the past years.
Did Stanford's women and Iowa women go against each other this week?
I can check, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Because if they did, they could have hosted that event in one night. Give me 3 hours worth of competition, and it could have just been one thing that y'all stream together. I mean, the schools that do have a men's program and a women's program, I don't understand why you don't just stream them both. It's only like 5 of you.
Pitt. They took on Pitt.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay, that's all my hot topics.
Well, you guys, that was fun. We will see you guys again Thursday night for our preview of week 5. I think there's a meet going on right now with Temple and them.
Oh,
But yeah,
you mean
we'll
with
be
Kirsten
back.
Johnson, her team?
Uh-huh.
Well, good luck to Kirsten.
Good luck to you, sis. And thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode. We'll be back Thursday. Yeah, this was fun. See you all. Bye.
Bye,
Bye, you
everyone.
guys.
Take care.
Find the outro.
Good night.
Good night.